Heidi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
I'm very happy to be here.
Right, so give me a little bit of insight, because for me, this started because last year we were both presenting some workshops at a women's conference, and actually we got really lucky, and I got the chance to actually be part of and participate in your workshop. And I was just fascinated by what you were talking about in terms of how to find our passion and use that to sort of galvanise purpose. So tell me what led you to that, and tell us what that now looks like in 2016 in terms of what we do. That's a big question, I know.
Yep, it is a very big question. The main thing that led me to it was being unhappy with my own life, and also looking at the people that I was working with and helping with their businesses and social enterprises, and realising that they would get to a certain point and they would either become miserable or they would get stuck in terms of the progress they were making with their businesses. And because I was also unhappy, I started to think, well, there's got to be something that we're missing in terms of how we grow and develop ourselves. And it's that bit internally around doing the things that you really, really love, as opposed to just doing something for the sake of it. So a lot of people will have jobs or they'll set up businesses purely to make money, and unless it's something that you're really, really passionate about, you are ultimately going to end up very unhappy. You're going to wake up in the morning and not want to go to work. You're going to come home from work and feel drained. And as you were saying earlier, your body will start to tell you that something isn't right in your life. So I used to have a lot of health problems in terms of pains in my body, in different parts of my body, and that would tell me that I'm not doing what I should be doing. So I started on this exploration of, well, what are the things that I really love in life? What makes me happy? And once you start to ask yourself those kinds of questions, you start to get closer to what you're really passionate about and what you're enthusiastic about.
Now, you see, that's exactly what I find now fascinating, okay? Because you said a couple of things then, I'm like, okay. And I mean, one of them, as you say, is maybe that feeling in your body. You know, one thing I will say is that I have definitely been guilty in my time of thinking, I haven't got time to be concerned about being happy, or that's a luxury right now that I can't afford. You know, I've got bills to pay, I've got commitments, I've got little ones, or whatever the case may be. You know, let me just ignore it and just get on. What are the signs, some of them being physical, that really do actually, or really can be you, your body, your spirit screaming, no, you've got to change?
One of the things is that everything goes wrong.
Okay.
You'll get, like I said, you'll get so far in terms of your job or your business, and then you'll start to have problems with either the customers, your clients, your managers, other people you work with. You'll start to find it a struggle. There'll be just things will intervene, and if you're living that kind of life on a daily basis, it's telling you that you're not doing what you're meant to be doing. You know, we're all here for a reason. We've just got to find what that reason is. So I used to teach accounting. I absolutely hated it. I would hate going in there. The students were awful to me. They didn't like me. I didn't like what I was teaching. And as soon as I stopped teaching that and realised I need to be doing other things, I need to be teaching people that have got their own businesses and helping them to grow their businesses, I got a completely different response from the people that were on my training sessions. They were excited, they wanted to be there. So that's how you know that you're then starting to go down the right road.
Yeah. So and it's fascinating, really, because it's almost like we'll try to struggle to hold on to the negative, but it's actually the struggle that's coming out that is one of your signs that this isn't where you're supposed to be. So what do you find that people sort of resist the most in terms of actually connecting with passion? Is it something that they've forgotten, or is it just that they think it's too hard?
Most people resist it because they're worried about what will happen in terms of their financial situation.
Yeah.
Because if you were to give up a job that you hated, you know, you'd be sitting there and saying, well, what am I going to do? What's going to happen?
Well, yeah, because you're happy, but you're about to be evicted, kind of fear. Yeah.
So what I always say to people is, set yourself a goal in terms of a deadline for when you will leave that job. give yourself time so you can start doing things on a daily basis that take you closer to living your passion, so that you're not just making a sudden jump from having that financial security of a job or a home or whatever you've got, that you actually progress slowly towards living your passion and working with that. And that way you start to become happier, because you can see that you're moving towards what you're really passionate about, but you also have got the security of having the money behind you, and you're not just letting it all go all of a sudden.
Yeah, because as you said, I suppose it's about recognising that you can move towards your dreams, but in a responsible way.
Yeah, definitely.
And well, to some degree, you've been doing that. You have been making those changes. So how have you felt in the process of maybe moving closer towards your passion and purpose, and how did you really identify what that was for you?
It took me a long time. I'd kind of move between different things, and I think, well, is this what I'm meant to be doing, or is this? And I also think we outgrow our passions as well.
Yeah,
so what you're
change.
passionate about now, you might not be passionate about in 3 years' time. And I always thought that if you were passionate about something, then you had to continue doing that.
Yeah, so, it's true. You think it's forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I now think actually it's a process. It's like being on that journey. People say life is a journey. Well, living your passion is also a journey, because as you develop and grow into your passion, it will change. So I'm doing things completely different to what I thought I would be doing 5 years ago, but I still see them as my passions, because my passions have now changed. You know, I loved doing accountancy work 5 years ago and working with social enterprises. Now I don't love accountancy work anymore.
Fair play.
But I've then figured out, well, actually the things I love are helping people with their enterprises, but not necessarily just purely focused on accounting, and also working with children and young people. So those are the two things that I've tried to incorporate into my life. So it's about trying to figure out what those things are for you, and the way you do that is to really think about, well, if money was no object, what would you be doing right now?
Yeah.
What would you actually be doing this particular day? When you wake up in the morning, where would you be? Who would you be with? And what would you be doing? If I think about, for me, well, one of my passions is to travel the world with my son. So part of my work then has to be that I need to be travelling and doing different things with that job as well.
Yeah.
In order to live that passion.
There you go, and I mean, so well put, but that has given birth to Make an Impact CIC, and more importantly for us here today, Pursuing Your Purpose Limited. So when we come back, I'd like to find out a little bit more about Pursuing Your Purpose, and how you can help people to effectively take the steps that you have taken into your passion and purpose, and how we engage in that. And I don't know how possible it will be, but you really showed us some really neat tricks in your workshop. If we could convey a little bit of that, maybe, so that people get a sense of how they can feel their passion, that would be fantastic as well. So we will be back in just a few moments.